Sheesh. Woo! There's going to be some sad, angry Texas Tech fans waking up today, man. God damn! If you're a part of the channel, you know. Look what did I say? We're gonna control the clock. We're gonna dominate the run game, and Sark is gonna try to put up 50 to 60 points on this team. Man, like I know what I see out there. I know what I see. I see the product on the field. I see what Texas Tech puts up week in and week out. I see what Texas puts up week in and week out. And they left no question. They left no question who the best team in the Big 12 is. 57-7, and that's not even as bad as it could have been. It could have been a 70-point game. I mean, we got stopped twice in the red zone, had to take a couple field goals. Burt Auburn had an incredible game, 5 for 5. Got to give him a shout out. 5 for 5 on field goals. A 54-yard attempt in there. He's one of the most solid pieces in Texas special teams. He is the most solid piece in Texas special teams. And when you talk about the special teams, how many we had? A kickoff return for a touchdown. Xavier Worthy had some big plays in the punt return. We had a punt block. Like this was just complete and total domination in all phases of the game. Quinn Ewers didn't even throw for 100 yards. He threw the ball 26 times. We ran for over 300 yards, bro. Like that is, I mean, just completely dominated that Texas Tech team. Y'all might not understand why it's so impressive, or y'all might not even understand what Sark did. What Sark did was went in there and imposed his will on that team. He is very intentional in the way he calls games and in the way he goes about coaching through games, right? We ran the ball time and time and time and time again with multiple running backs. Keelan Robinson finally getting himself a touchdown on a really nice swing screen. It's beautiful design. Jaden Blue, bro. Wow. Like we've seen Jaden Blue flash, but he showed an entirely different level last night. Like it was crazy. 10 carries for 120 yards. He probably could have had, he probably could have had 200 if you give him the ball 20 times. Easily. Man, CJ Baxter looked really good too, but there's just something about the way Jaden Blue was operating the football when he had it in his hands. He's so smooth through the line of scrimmage. He's such a smooth runner. And then he gets space and he's gone. Like he's gone. There's nobody gonna catch him. Jaden Blue is apparently the fastest player on the team, and we've seen Xavier Worthy get up to 22 miles an hour in a game. When you're saying that Jaden Blue is faster than Xavier Worthy, like that's insane. But every time he touches the ball, it feels like he's gonna break it open for an 80-yard touchdown. He had a 69-yarder. He had a couple of big 15 to 20-yard runs. He had a couple of nice catches in the receiving game as well. I mean, look, we thought when Jonathan Brooks went down that we were going to have some struggles formulating the run, scheming the run. And CJ Baxter, Jaden Blue have come through and just been lights out. They've been lights out. And the thing that I love about Jaden Blue is that not only, first off, did he show that he's not just an explosive big play runner. He's not just a get into the open field and outrun everybody, kind of like what Keelan Robinson is, right? Keelan Robinson is that explosive in the open field, not the biggest, not the strongest between tackles, but he can do okay, right? Jaden Blue was tucking his head, he was putting them shoulder pads down, and he was running through people. He was running hard, and then when he got to the outside, he had the explosiveness to take it for a touchdown. The O-line dominated. And I know Quinn got sacked a couple of times, right? But that was more coverage sacks and Quinn missing reads. I still think that Quinn is a little shaky in the pocket. He's still a little concerned with his injury. Like maybe I'm being over analytic in that sense, but I just feel like I see it when he plays, the discomfort when the pocket starts to collapse. And I think he's just worried about being re-injured, right? But he still had a pretty damn good game. 17 of 26, 190 something yards passing, I believe. Didn't even need to crack 200 for us to put up almost 60 points. Crazy. And missed a touchdown to Xavier Worthy that Xavier should have scored on. He didn't get his foot in bounds. He had a couple of passes that were overthrown or short. He had an interception in the end zone that if he just puts it up a little bit higher, gives 80 a chance to make a play. There's a good chance that 80 comes down with that ball. Even though number 12 was the only shining point for Texas Tech. And of course Taj Brooks. Taj Brooks went crazy. Like, you got to give it to him. He's a really good running back. His contact balance is insane. He was breaking off tackles, shaking people off. He did really well. You got to give Taj Brooks his credit. For being on a terrible team, that's a really good player. Number 12 on the defensive side, same thing. Really talented player on a very bad team. Hopefully they can get themselves up out of there. They deserve to be on a team that can utilize their talent to their full potential. I can't say I was embarrassed for them because it was great. I loved it. I wanted to see the dejection, and there's like a different feeling when you go out there and you know that no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, no matter the effort you give, there's zero chance that you have of beating a team. And that's what that's what you could feel from Tech. As hard as they were trying, they just couldn't do it. Joe McGuire literally was not even attempting fourth downs. Said 3 and out, punt it, 3 and out, punt it, 3 and out, punt it, 3 and out, punt it. We're not even gonna try it, man. Every time we try on fourth down, we turn the ball over anyway. Just punt them the ball back. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And then of course, don't think I forgot, man. Don't think I forgot. Arch Manning gets in and gets himself a whole quarter and some change to play. And I've never ever heard a crowd erupt like they did for Arch Manning. I mean, for a backup quarterback, the crowd went absolutely nuts. And they were already going crazy. That crowd was already insane. And when Arch Manning stepped onto that field, it's like the atmosphere went times 10. Like, they pushed it up another notch. It was insane. And he did really well. He missed an opportunity to score in the end zone, in the red zone. Threw a ball a little bit too high. He had the opportunity to score, but in the drives that he had, he executed pretty well. Showed some really nice athleticism, some escapability for a Manning. Hello, crazy, because Eli and Peyton weren't escaping anything, right? They were sacked 9.9 times out of 10. The pocket collapses, they're sacked. Arch Manning showed some great escapability, got out of the pocket, picked up some nice yards, did really well. The team, I mean, just the game in general is just completely dominated. Byron Murphy went crazy at the defensive tackle spot. He had some huge plays. T'Vondre Sweat did his thing. Anthony Hill is a monster. Again, he's an 18-year-old grown man. Like, watching him play with the violence that he plays with, it's beautiful. Like, it's beautiful violence. It's beautiful violence. The defense locked shit down. PK was aggressive as the absolute hell. Manny Muhammad is locked down. That kid, get him some more time in a college scene, get some more training under his belt. That kid is going to be a lockdown corner. Terrence Brooks had himself a great game. Each of them having themselves an interception in one-on-one coverage. Man, it was great. It was great to watch. For the first time this season, it felt like Texas was completely dominant in all phases of the game. The D-line dominated. Jeb Bush got him some sacks, got him an interception return for a touchdown. Number 43 picked off the ball at the 43-yard line, returned the ball 43 yards, and the score was 43-7 at that point. Where do the numbers align like that? Sometimes the universe really trips me out. What are the odds of all of that sequence adding up and Jeb Bush going to get himself a touchdown? Good for you, big fella. Good for you. As a senior, to go out and just completely dominate on senior night, good for him, man. Good for all of these seniors who have worked their asses off Jalen Ford, Tavondre Sweat, Ryan Watts, even though he was injured the first play of the game, which hopefully he's okay and we can get him back. Jaron Thompson, Xavier Worthy, the list goes on. Y'all know who it is, right? Everybody had incredible games. It was a complete and thorough ass whooping, as I said it would be. I had some commenters who did not appreciate it, thought I was lame, thought I was whack, saying that Texas was going to run up 50 on them. When Texas Tech fans look at their team this year and they look at Texas's team, they genuinely believe Texas Tech was going to have a chance. I'm just like, it's kind of baffling. But that kind of just shows you that people don't really know football. They just watch football, right? If you know football, this is no surprise. This is what I expected. I expected this. I expected 50-60. I expected Sark to come out with a very aggressive game plan, and he did, and he stuck to that game plan all night. And there's not much more to say. Texas is into the Big 12 championship and in dominant fashion. And then on top of not only beating the shit out of Texas Tech, at the end of the game, playing Brett Yormark's remarks at the Texas Tech conference, or at the Big 12 conference, where he goes on to say, Joe McGuire, no pressure on you. You better beat Texas on Thanksgiving. I'm going to be there. Played that on the big screen while he's in the building. See ya in Arlington, bitches. That's how you send that motherfucker out. Embarrassed. Send him out embarrassed. Good for them. Good for every single one of them for going and just shoving that shit down their throats. Look at that. The Big 12 commissioner wrote a check that his ass couldn't cash. Joel McGuire wrote a check that his ass couldn't cash. Iowa State wrote checks that their asses couldn't cash. We're going and we're checking off the list. We got the receipts, and we keep them receipts, and we're answering them. It's great, man. It is so exciting. Like, this is the most exciting year of football for Texas fans in the last 15 years. 11-1 to finish the season, bro. And we're 15 seconds away from being 12-0 and undefeated and having this college football playoff talk not even a discussion, right? We got one more game to go take care of business. And personally, I don't care who it is. I just watched TCU put up 45 points on that Oklahoma defense. Ain't no shot. I watched UCF run for over 250 yards, 300 yards on Oklahoma State and beat them, rout them 45-3. Ain't no shot either of those teams are going to come in and beat Texas this time. Oklahoma State ain't got no chance, zero chance. Alan Bowman is as bad at Oklahoma State as he was at Texas Tech. That team got no chance. In Oklahoma, you best believe if we get the shot at you again, it's going to get ugly quick, fast, and in a hurry. When this team puts their mind to beating somebody's asses, look at what they've done. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I can't be happier. We got one more game, the Big 12 championship, and then our fate is pretty much, if we win the Big 12 championship, I'd almost guarantee that we're going to be into the playoff. I'd almost guarantee it. And this team has one more chance to make this the most special season, something they've been working for the last 3 years. And quite frankly, I think they have the fortitude. I think they have the ability. They definitely have the skill and the talent. They have the coaching staff. And they have the bond more than anything. They have the togetherness. They have the strength, the mental strength. I'm telling you, the mental strength, the testicular fortitude to go out there and play with any team in the country, to beat any team in the country. And look at the depth that we did it with. And I know I'm leaving people out. We haven't even talked about Trey Wisner. We haven't talked about Savion Red going out there and balling his ass off. We haven't talked about the backup O-line. We haven't talked about a lot of things. I know, and I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the game so I can really get a really in-depth, detailed perspective. But through and through, the depth and the talent just showed all night long. It was, our third string was better than Texas Tech's starting lineup. We're not rebuilding anymore. We're just reloading. And I think that we have a staff and we have a culture where we're going to enjoy seasons like this one, if not better than this one, for years to come. It's really exciting, and I can't wait for Texas to go and finish off this season. We got one more chance. Go 12-1 and get to that playoff. Less than a month before we figure it out. Let's go, man. That's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. If y'all enjoyed the video, please do me a favor. If you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. Leave me your thoughts on this Texas team. What did you think about the season? What did you think about the game? Was it what you expected? Who is your player of the game? Who is y'all's player of the game? I really want to know, because there's several we could choose from. Whether it be Bird Auburn, whether it be Jaden Blue, whether it be Anthony Hill, there's tons. There's tons to choose from. I'm not gonna lie. Let me know what y'all think. Like the video if you haven't already, so we can get the message, get the video, get the content out to the YouTubeverse, to the college football world. And of course, turn those notification bells on so you never miss an episode. Because remember, no matter where you look, there's no better place than MoBetta Sports for your latest football takes. I'm Antonio, aka Mr.MoBetta, and I am out. Hook 'em.